Very conscious that there are tens of thousands of travellers who've been stranded throughout Australia and the rest of the world. We're conscious that there are people who can't get to work or people who can't get back to their families. We're conscious that the Australian economy has been put at the risk of great damage. We believe that this industrial action by Qantas and unions needed to come to a halt.
The Foreign Office has said 2 British contractors were among at least 17 people killed by a Taliban car bomb attack in Afghanistan yesterday. Their families have been told. 12 of the victims, a mixture of troops and contractors, were American, with 1 Canadian soldier also killed. From Kabul, where the attack happened, Quentin Somerville reports.
The 2 British men were electricians working for a contracting company here in Kabul. The body of one has already been sent home to Britain. The second had his home in the United States. The British Embassy in Kabul confirmed that earlier reports that only Americans, Canadians and Afghans had been killed in the attack were inaccurate. The intensity of the explosion which destroyed the armoured bus yesterday has made it difficult identifying those on board. The huge car bomb meant that a fire raged at the site for many hours.
3 people have been arrested after a man was shot dead in a community centre in Sheffield early this morning. The incident happened in the Spittal Hill area at around 2:40. Almost 3 million homes and businesses on the east coast of the United States are without power after an early winter snowstorm. 3 people are reported to have been killed and there's been disruption to rail and air services. Nearly a foot of snow has fallen in some areas. The Bishop of London, Richard Charters, has addressed the anti-capitalist movement outside St Paul's Cathedral. He said he didn't want the protest to end in violence. But when questioned by a protester, he declined to say whether he supported an eviction.
Would you support an eviction?
Would you please?
That's a direct question. Give a direct answer.
I am not in a position to give a direct answer.
Why not? If there was an eviction, would you support it?
Support the eviction?
Who knows?
As the bishop?
Who knows? Who knows what is going to happen down the road?
All right, so take
the one thing I'm very concerned about is that this should not lead to violence and should not be a distraction from the really essential
issues.
One way in which
it won't lead to violence. There's one way, and that is if there's not an eviction.
The weather forecasts a dry, cloudy evening for most of England, with rain in Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. Temperatures will feel quite mild for the time of year. BBC News at 5:03. Our next at 6.
BBC Radio 2.
Let's have a look at the travel news now. Here's Bobby.
Tom, thank you. Well, first of all, to South Yorkshire, to the M18. Now, it was closed both ways, but now only closed northbound between junctions 4, Westmoor, and 5, which is Stainforth. But very long delays. There is a signed diversion for you. M6 southbound heavy now between junctions 20, Lymm interchange, through to junction 18 for Holmes Chapel. Again, on the southbound M6, it's slow between 15 and 14, so Stoke-on-Trent south to Stafford North. And again, M6 south is slow 10 to 9, Walsall to Wednesbury. Now, the M5 northbound, it was blocked completely. This is following an incident at the M6 junction. They had to call an ambulance for an ill driver. So at the moment, all lanes are open, traffic's on the move, but that's why you were stationary. The A57 at East Markham, it's blocked both ways by an overturned vehicle and a caravan and another accident just near the Askham Road. So police are there directing traffic. Avoid the area if you can. M1 southbound is queuing from 14 Milton Keynes through to Flitwick at junction 12. But the car fire on the M1 southbound junction 5, that's now all cleared out of the way. M25 anti-clockwise queues 30 from the A13 round to Romford at 29, and again from 13 to 12 Staines to the M3, and then clockwise you've got very slow traffic on the M25 up from where it joins with the M26 through to Clackett Lane services, and then the M5 northbound between junctions 21 Weston-super-Mare and 19 Portishead. Expect very heavy traffic. There was an accident earlier, but it's taken about half an hour to get through, but all lanes are open. And finally, some good news for the A303, the Ilminster bypass, which was closed between the Southfield roundabout and the turning for Martock. That is now all reopened. Thanks for your updates, and back just after 6.
88 to 91 FM. BBC Radio 2. Online, on digital, and on 88 to 91 FM. On BBC Radio 2.
Welcome to our Halloween special with me, Count O'Grady, alive for one night. Oh, I can't keep this up, Malcolm, with my teeth. I've got vampire teeth. Good evening, good afternoon, folks. As you've guessed by now, it's Halloween. That's Malcolm. His medication's run out and he can't get a repeat prescription. I'll take these teeth out, Malcolm. I'm going to minute. They're stuck. Seriously, I've got a set of vampire teeth in, but they're the real McCoy, you know. They're none of your cheap plastic joke shop things. These were made by a proper dentist. They're made to get in and out. In fact, when I've got them in, I forgot I've got them in. And I went to the shop this morning, bearing a beautiful set of fangs. Anyway, a big thank you there to Kylie Minogue. And a huge thank you to Baron von Volker for 2 hours of excellence there. I'm with you until 7 o'clock, unless, of course, you forgot to put your clocks back. Then I'm with you until 8 o'clock. Or maybe it's 6 o'clock. I don't know. I can't work this time thingy out. We've got... what have we got for you? Let me have... Well, first of all, the place is decked out with pumpkins, cauldrons and cobwebs. Although the cobwebs actually aren't ornamental. They've been here since the year 1. But we've got lots of suitable Halloween music for you, as you can imagine. We've got your emails and messages, and we've got... Who's this we I'm talking about? I've just twigged. We? Who is this we? It's me and you, is it? Oh, well, can I have a record? Yeah, if you like. What would you like? I don't mind. I think I'd like a bit of Motown, actually. And because it's Halloween, can we have Dean Taylor, There's a Ghost in My House? Of course you can. Thank you very much. You're a nice chap. There's a Ghost in My House there. That was Dean Taylor, and that was today's Motown offering. Right. Thanks for all your letters and emails. Remember, we're nothing, absolutely nothing. We're gutter level without them. And if you'd like to, then here's how you get in touch. Tell them, Jodie.
You can contact Paul's show by emailing paulogrady@bbc.co.uk, or you can write to Paul at BBC Radio 2, London W1A 1AA, or just visit his show page at bbc.co.uk/radio2 and click on Take Part in the Show.
Thank you, Jodie. She's all in black today. She's dressed as Lily Munster. Remember from the Munsters? But the strange thing is she's hovering. She's actually levitating 5 inches. Look at her hovering all right. Look at her go. She's like a Hoover. Have you seen her hovering out of the building? Right, now do remember we do our very, very best to include as many of your messages as we can. And because it's my favourite time of the year, seriously it is, Malcolm, please take a pill. I'm in a very good mood, and so for one day only, you can text me. Now, you ready? Here's the text number. It's 88 to 91, and this is how you do it. So you just text 88291. Did I get that right, Malcolm? Oh, jolly good. And text it. I have to do this pattern now for you, for the legal business. Texts are charged at your standard message rate, and only text me if it's safe to do so. Now, by that, I have no idea. So if you're standing in a basin full of water doing your calluses, I wouldn't advise texting in case there's an electrical charge and you go up like a rocket. But if it's safe, you can text us as well. I ain't texting you back, but you can text me. And if you're having a Halloween party or planning one, then please let me know. All right, then. I noticed this morning, I was listening to the wireless in bed, that Sir Terence of Wogan was broadcasting live from the Savoy. And that was in aid of children in need. And he made an absolute fortune, didn't he? Well, we're doing a children... Yeah, I'm at the wear business again, aren't we? Yes, we are. We're doing a children in need programme. Upset? Yes, don't ding me in the back. And we're broadcasting live from the Blue Balloon Club, just off Hockenall Alley, the back of the Blood Tub public house. Nice gaff, apparently. Don't know who our guests are. A couple of lady wrestlers. Right, what have we got now? Oh, it's time now for Jules. Jules, yes, and this is a very special one. It's another one about a ghost. We've had one in the house. This is one at the door. Here's Jules Holland and his orchestra. Jools Holland and his Rhythm and Blues Orchestra there with Ghost at My Door, and that was from the 1997 album Lift the Lid. And we've got more from Jools later on in the show because, there's just a cracking song that screams to be played at Halloween. You haven't done it? You haven't... you're slow, say that's because you're eating in the building with all the vermin on this floor. Are you sure? Right, now, I've got some of your messages here. Let me have a look. Hi there, Paul. What I'd really like, if possible, please, is a shout-out to my dad, Nick Rogers, who listens to your show all the time. I visited my parents last weekend, and he drove me back to university in Brighton, and we listened to your show. I just want him to know what a lovely dad he is. Please do shout this out. I really want to shock him. Thank you, Paul. Ben Rogers. Ben, he might be driving. All right, I'll shout his name now. Nick Rogers! Hey, oh, look. Hey, oh, and there's the wolf. That's Olga. She transforms as well at this time of the year. She's a lot larger than she normally is. Anyway, Nick, there you go. You've got a son who's extremely proud and fond of you. Now, last week, Ivan Elpus, I love that name, in Norwich, set us a lost film hunt. Now, Ivan or Evan said it was a British comedy from the 1960s which he recalls seeing with his then girlfriend at the Gaumont in Birmingham. He said it starred Terry Thomas and was about the apes of Gibraltar and what might happen if they all disappeared. Well, thank you very much, you smart listeners. I can now reveal the lost film was called Operation Snatch, and it was released in 1962, and it was directed by Robert Day, starring Terry Thomas, George Sanders and Lionel Jeffries. So a big thank you to everybody who emailed in, including Muriel Gordon, Andrew Holden, Deb Spence, David Brown, Michelle Jones and many, many more. Smart, a lot of you. Now, dear Paul, last week you read out an email where someone thought you were Spanish. They did, actually, believe it. I think they'd see me in a public house on the table with my maracas to Viva España. Might have led them to believe that I come from sort of just outside Marbella. Anyway, this reminds me of a wedding my husband Bill and I went to in Ohio, USA, 10 years ago. Say that part quickly so that Malcolm doesn't play your favourite tune. I don't get that. Oh, I do. And yeah, too late. Bill was wearing the kilt and very smart he looked as well. But we heard later in the evening that a little boy had spotted my kilt-wearing husband and had asked his sister, is that guy a leprechaun? We had a good laugh at his mixing up of Scotland and Ireland, and that's from Anne and Eyre. Do you know something, Anne? I really love a kilt, I do, but unfortunately not on me. I was up at the Edinburgh Festival years ago, and we all hired kilts, and I sashayed down the stairs of the hotel in Scotland, and they all roared laughing, and Murphy, my old manager, said I reminded him of a cartoon character, Olive Oil, because it hangs on me, because I'm skinny. I think you've got to be little and stocky for a kilt with a good pair of calves, and me with this kilt just flapping in the breeze, and the Dr. Martens, just didn't look good. Dear Paul, we are sitting in our caravan in Cornwall enjoying your show. It is very windy here and the caravan is blowing about. Please can you play us a song to take our mind off the wind? Thanks, that's Terry and Julie Grundy. I could play Stormy Weather, Terry and Julie. Cleo's talking of Cleo Lane, it was Dame Cleo's birthday on Friday, which makes her a Scorpio, and Scorpios are passionate, powerful and sexy. And they're wise beyond their years, and I think that describes the lovely Dame Cleo beautifully. She is a very sexy lady. She blew in my ear once, Shame it was with a trombone. I was deaf for 2 days. Never got over it. But Cleo, if you're listening, happy birthday, and many more of them. And Terry and Julie, think of all that lovely fresh air, that Cornish air. Look at the positive side. Right, let's have a record, shall we? What's this one? Oh, the Pupini Sisters. I haven't heard from them since you dug them up, Malcolm. Really? This is from their new album, and it's called Hollywood, and here's the title track.
You'll find the fame if you leave what's behind you. How you gonna be, how you gonna feel when you're in Hollywood? Lights, camera, action, double take and a star. How you gonna play, what you gonna say when you're in Hollywood? If you be scared of the height. You can fly. Hollywood, mon amour. Hollywood, dans ton cœur. Hollywood, 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 mon amour. Hollywood, mon amour. Hollywood, dans ton cœur. Hollywood, glamour, Hollywood, me. Hollywood, everything I want to. Hollywood, mon amour. Hollywood, dans ton cœur. Hollywood, 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 mon amour. Hollywood, mon amour. Hollywood, dans ton cœur. Hollywood, glamour, Hollywood, me. Hollywood, everything I want to be.
The Papini Sisters there with Hollywood, and that's the title track from their album, which is called Hollywood, and it's out on Boxing Day. Strange day to release an album, Boxing Day. Here you go. Look, we know it's not Halloween today, thank you very much, but we're not on tomorrow, so we've got to do Halloween today. There you go. Anyway, I've been celebrating it since September, you know. Get myself in the mood. Let me... Oh, we've got some messages. Dear Paul, can you please tell my lovely wife, Linda, to stop spending my only day off work cleaning the house from top to bottom? It really isn't necessary because she cleans every day. Now, Linda. On Sundays, she rushes around like a madwoman trying to get everything done by 5 p.m. and the start of your show. Tell her to take it easy. When your show is on, we both enjoy a cocktail and a large glass of wine. And heaven help anyone who calls around and interrupts. Keep up the good work. And that's from Michael and Linda in Bradford. Thanks for that, Michael. And, of course, the compliance man, who's looking particularly sinister today with it being Halloween, has come down. And I have to tell you to drink responsibly. Linda, sit down. Listen, as Quentin Crisp said, you don't notice the dust after 7 years or something. Sit down. Let it go to seed, honestly. You'll all be there when you've gone. I mean, really. Dear Paul, we're looking forward to your Halloween-themed show this weekend, and I'm sure it'll get us in the mood for our Halloween gathering the following night. I'm dressing up as Jason from Friday the 13th, and my girlfriend Sophie is going to be Wednesday from the Addams Family. We've got about 14 friends coming over, so it's sure to be a great party, and hopefully not too many sore heads on Tuesday morning. But hey, Halloween is only once a year, so please play us a suitable record. Happy Halloween, and that's from Pete Boylan in Clapham. Will do, Pete. Well, the next one's for you. Now, we've got a lost recipe update. Have you got a jingle for that? Nothing by Fanny Craddock? No. Odelia? No, nothing. I'm showing my age, aren't I? Fanny Craddock. I lent on her fur coat when I was a kid. She wiped the floor with me. Seriously. What was it? Now, Anna Steele emailed in to say her nostalgic husband, Kevin, had been desperately searching for the recipe for something called mint custard, which he remembered from school. Well, we were inundated with emails, including this one from Peter Gerling. So, Anna, are you ready? Have you got pen and paper? I'll give you a minute to go and get one. Go on, go and get it. Right. This is how you make mint custard. You mix oh, gee, I shouldn't have had them pickled onions last night. You mix 2 tablespoons of caster sugar with 20 grams of corn flour and several tablespoons of milk in a small bowl to make a smooth paste. Then you add, slowly, 300 mils of milk to a pan, add the paste and stir well. And this is where you do the slow bit. And slowly bring to the boil. Don't stop stirring or it'll stick. As the mixture thickens, add peppermint extract and green food colouring, and voila, you have peppermint custard. But if you're lazy, you just get some normal custard, add the peppermint extract and a bit of green food colouring. And there you've got mint custard. OK, well... thanks for that, Peter, and I hope Kevin Steele enjoys his mint custard. Personally, my mouth's gone dry talking about it. You know, that tightness you get in the back of your throat when you think you're going to... Right, let's up. Now, who did I say I was having a party? Oh, Pete Boylan in Clapham, and Sophie's going as Wednesday from the Addams Family. So, look, here's something for you for your party. It's perfect for a pre-Halloween afternoon. And this is for any Harry Potter wannabes out there. It's Louis Prima with Keely Smith and that old black magic.
Old black magic has me in its spell.
Old black magic that you weave so well.
Those icy fingers up and down my spine.
The same old witchcraft when your eyes meet mine.
Same same old tingle that I feel inside.
And then that elevator starts its ride.
Down and down I go,
Round and around I go,
like a leaf caught on a tide.
I should stay away, but what can I do? I hear your name and I'm aflame.
Flame, burn and desire,
That only your kiss
put out the fire. For you're the lover I have waited for.
You're the mate that fate had me created for. And every time your lips meet mine,
Baby, down and down I go, round and round I go, in a spin, loving the spin I'm in, under the old black magic called love.
ooh, in a spin, loving the spin I'm in, under the old black magic called love. In a spin, loving the spin I'm in, under the old black magic called love. I should stay away, but what can I do? I hear your name and I'm aflame.
Flame, burn and desire,
That only your kiss
put out the fire. For you're the lover I have waited for.
You're the mate that fate had me created for. And every time your lips meet mine,
Baby, down and down I go, round and round I go, in a spin, loving the spin I'm in, under the old black magic called love.
in a spin, loving the spin I'm in, under the old black magic called love. In a spin, loving the spin I'm in, under the old black magic called love. Under the old black magic called love.
Louis Prima with Keely Smith with that old black magic, recorded in 1958, would you believe? We got little messages just slip. I've got two. One's bad news though. I'll do the good one first, eh? Dear Paul, my husband and I were watching a well-known, long-running television medical drama last night. Were you? And it was a rather gritty episode, and just as one character stabbed a lovely lady with a knife, fabulous Saturday night viewing, Arthur turned to me and said, "Do you think that this is going to end badly?" And I said, "Well, Arthur, it's called Casualty, so I think there's a clue in the title." Bless him. Love to you, Malcolm, and the seldom heard Elsie. And that's from Violet Franks in Brighton. Well, Violet, she's in today, and she's dressed up as a rat. And you can see if you look on the webcam. Elsie, say hello. Go on, say hello to Violet. Never mind, no, say hello to Violet. There you go, Violet. She said hello. She's rather shy these days, and she took the pledge. Oh, now look, I want to say get the boys in, will you, with the band. I want to say how very sorry I am to Otis and Milo Sainsbury and their mum and dad, because their pet Jack Russell dog, Jack, got run over this week. Oh, I'm really sorry, boys. But look, I shouldn't really say this, but since I know your mum and dad, Christmas is approaching. Why don't you get mummy to go to a dog charity or a dog home and find you a new one, yeah? Because I know how good you are with your pets, so otherwise I wouldn't recommend it. And remember, you lot out there, dogs for life, not just for Christmas. Anyway, boys, I'm really sorry, but put the squeeze on your mum, she might get you a new one for Christmas. Well, it's gone 5 o'clock, so that means here's today's 5 o'clock triple. And this features one of the biggest British bands of the 80s. Our first triple this afternoon starts when you can hear him singing up the stairwell there. Yes, it's Boy George and Culture Club. Enjoy.
Let me love and steal. I have danced inside your eyes. How can I be real?
And that was the 5 o'clock All-Star Triple featuring Boy George and Culture Club. We had Do You Really Want to Hurt Me, The War Song, and last but not least, Church of the Poison Mind. And don't forget, I've got the 6 o'clock Triple in an hour or so, funny enough. I'm Paul O'Grady, in case you're confused, and this is Radio 2. Malcolm, take your pills. Time now for some more of your messages. Dear Paul, can you say a big thank... Oh, this is an email just come in. Can you say a big thank you and perhaps a song for Jane MacDonald? Her last night of her tour in... for her last night of her tour in Southampton. She's brought so much pleasure with very underrated voice and humour to all her fans, making many making their ways... Who wrote this? Hieroglyphics. Many making their way to Southampton, and that's from Rona. Thanks for that, Rona. Just as well I'm fluent in Greek, isn't it, really? And listen, I'm a big fan of Jane's as well. She's a really nice woman, and she's going to join me on November the 13th for Children in Need. I shall look forward to that because she's a good laugh as well. Dear Paul, I've not been well this week. I'm sorry about that. I put it down to a dodgy prawn sandwich I bought at a motorway service station. Don't get me started on them, because they've got us over a barrel, haven't they? There's nowhere else to go and eat, so you've got to pay the prices. I need cold food. It's been warmed up for about 4 weeks under a hot bulb. I know, she says it's my own fault. Who in their right mind would buy a prawn sandwich on a motorway? But in my defence, it was very late at night and the sarnie had been reduced to 29p. Shouldn't that have warned you, really? You know, 3 o'clock in the morning, a prawn sandwich that's dancing like something from The Little Mermaid with the 29p sticker slapped on it. Wouldn't that tell you? Keep away from that thing. It's glowing in the dark there. Anyway, just let's say I had a dicky tummy, a very dicky tummy. I was stuck in the smallest room. OK, I'm about to eat a sarnie myself here. Sorry if your other listener is eating their tea at this point, but as my nan used to say, better an empty flat than a dodgy tenant. Play me something soothing, Paul, and that's from Amelia from Chester. Oh. Dear Paul, going back to the mobile phone accident last week. Yes, this is last week. A lady called Sarah Willis's 3-year-old son dropped hers in the bath. And I said, put it in rice. Anyway, while rice is okay, you will find taking it apart and drying it out with a low heat setting on a hairdryer may work too. Oh, I haven't got a hairdryer. I don't know anybody who has these days. You can also try putting it on a tray and popping it in the oven on a very low setting and leaving the oven door open. Hope this helps. I'm enjoying your show whilst making Christmas cards. Oh, that's just me Halloween ruined, Malcolm. And that's from Amanda Elam in Milton Keynes. It's getting like how this show? Where's with all... I mean, I've told you this story many times. My old pig, Blanche, she swallowed my mobile phone. I was bending over, it was in my shirt pocket to feed her, and it fell out and she went whoop, straight down. So I sat patiently, as you do, and waited for nature to take its course. And it came out in 3 bits. So I wiped it, you know, and I put it in a tub of rice, and it's worked ever since. In fact, I'm loath to get rid of it, even though it's Bakelite, it's so old. What's this one here? Dear Paul, I enjoy listening to your show on a Sunday afternoon when I'm working in my kitchen. You could not have been more right when, after playing Donny Osmond's Too Young last week, you asked who'd been daydreaming with their mouth open while it was on. Well, I was. I so enjoyed hearing Donny. Sadly, his music is rather prejudiced against and is hardly ever played on Radio 2, so thank you. All the very best, Christine. Christine, you're welcome. We've got more Donny for you next Sunday. So there you go. All right, then, it's time now for today's Lost TV theme. Now, this week's choice is perfect for this time of the year. It was shown on Channel 4 here in the UK, and the show was made by HBO in America and was described as a dark, dysfunctional, dead-on funny series. And it was created by Alan Ball, who won an Oscar for the film American Beauty. And today's choice started Peter Krause, Michael C. Hall and Rachel Griffiths. And it was set in a funeral home in LA. And the theme we're about to enjoy won the 2002 Emmy Award for Outstanding Main Title Theme Music. And it also picked up 2 Grammy Awards in 2003. The show itself won loads of awards, and Time magazine called its final episode the best imaginal epitaph. So for Carl in Cheshire, today's Lost TV theme is 6 Feet Under. Short and sweet, but composed by Thomas Newman. That was the theme for our Lost TV show today, 6 Feet Under. And don't forget, if you'd like to hear your favourite Lost TV theme, then just let me know, and if we can find it, we will play it. OK, I've got an email here. Hello, Petal, it says. Could you say hello to my wonderful husband, Custard? Custard? What's your name? Rhubarb, who is sitting here with me at the kitchen table. We're listening to your show as always, even though it now feels like you're on a few hours late. It's very dark out there. Anyhow, wondered if you would be playing the Monster Mash today. Fab tune, take care, and that's some Glendy Lou. Real name's Glenda. I don't know why she put the Lou on the end. All right, Glenda, especially for you and Custard. I want you up now in a little bop. Here's Bobby Boris Pickett and the Crypt Kickers with the Monster Mash.
I was working in the lab late one night when my eyes beheld an eerie sight. For my monster from his slab began to rise, and suddenly, to my surprise,
He did the mash,
he did the Monster Mash.
the monster mash.
It was a graveyard
He
smash.
did the mash,
It caught on in a flash.
he did the mash.
He did the Monster Mash. From my laboratory in the castle east to the master bedroom where the vampires feast, the ghouls all came from their humble abode to get a jolt from my electrode.
They did the mash,
They did the Monster
the
Mash.
monster mash.
It was a graveyard
They
smash.
did the mash,
It caught on in a flash.
they did the mash.
They did the Monster Mash. The zombies were having fun.
In a shoot
The party had just begun.
in a shoot
The guests included Wolfman, Dracula, and his son. The scene was rocking, all were digging the sounds. Igor on chains, backed by his baying hounds. The coffin bangers were about to arrive with their vocal group, the Crypt Kicker Five.
Played the mash,
They played the Monster
the
Mash.
monster mash.
It was a graveyard
They
smash.
played the mash,
It caught on in a flash.
they played the mash.
They played the Monster Mash. Out from his coffin, Drac's voice did ring. Seemed he was troubled by just one thing. Opened the lid and shook his fist and said, "Whatever happened to my Transylvania twist?"
It's now the mash,
It's now the Monster
the
Mash.
monster mash.
And it's a graveyard
It's now
smash.
the mash,
It's caught on in a
it's
flash.
now the mash.
It's now the Monster Mash. Now everything's cool. Drac's a part of the band, and my Monster Mash is the hit of the land. For you, the living, this mash was meant to. When you get to my door, tell them Boris sent you.
Then you can mash,
Then you can Monster Mash,
the monster mash.
and you my graveyard
Then you can
smash.
mash,
You'll catch on in a flash.
then you can mash.
Then you can Monster Mash. You impetuous young boy.
First released in 1962, that's the Monster Mash, Bobby Boris Pickett and the Crypt Kickers. And that's going out especially for Glenda and her husband Custard. There's a bit of fly on that wall. All right, time for a few quickies now. A big hello to Linda Thane up there in Glasgow. And hello to Anita. And Anita says, please mention my lovely husband Peter. Hello to Austin. Thank you very much, Austin, for the Coronation Street book. Sorry, I've messed up here. Austin says, please mention my lovely husband Peter Norman, who has been my rock. He's a postie and gets up very early, but he still manages to take care of me. I split it up, you see, because I put Austin for the Coronation Street book in the middle. Yeah, have a look. We're all confused. You want to look at us in here. Malcolm's come dressed as Uncle Fester. I think it's that. Either that, he's had a very heavy night last night, one of the two. Big hello to Jane Robertson on the Isle of Mull. How's your Christmas cake coming on? Your hubby Andrew, can't wait to eat it. Thank you for your kind words, Peter Bamford. Hello to Barbara's dog, Holly. Woof, woof. Good luck to Jane in Worcester, who is planning to walk from John O'Groats to Land's End next year, and she listens each week whilst training. Happy 50th birthday to twins Roger and Ken Farr. Hope you enjoyed your birthday bash last night. And finally, thanks once again to the Royal Mail's favourite person, that's Nina, who this week sent in some plastic sausages, very handy, a sachet of instant dessert, a novelty bar of soap, a jar of boiled sweets, and a pair of underpants. As ever, Nina, much appreciated. Here's Who Were You With in the Moonlight, Dollar. Don't touch that knob. I'll be back after the 6 o'clock news. I'm Paul O'Grady, and this is BBC Radio 2, online, on digital, and on 88 to 91 FM.
BBC News at 6 o'clock. This is Tom Sanders. The Australian airline Qantas has said some of its flights could resume in the early hours of tomorrow morning after a mediator called an end to its dispute with staff. Qantas grounded all its planes yesterday morning because of long-running industrial action by staff. A former airline industry executive, Paul Charles, said the dispute was the latest in a long line of problems for Qantas.
Qantas will suffer in the short term. They will have lost around £30 million this weekend. But crucially for the longer term, the Qantas brand will not have had a chance to recover. It's a year since the engine explosion on one of their A380s. They've had numerous safety issues with various aircraft over the last 12 to 18 months. And now this.
The Foreign Office has said 2 British contractors were among at least 17 people killed by a Taliban car bomb attack in Afghanistan yesterday. Their families have been told. 12 of the victims, a mixture of troops and contractors, were American, with 1 Canadian soldier also killed. The Bishop of London, Richard Charters, has addressed the anti-capitalism movement outside St Paul's Cathedral. He said he didn't want the protest to end in violence, but when questioned by a protester, he declined to say whether he supported an eviction. The Right Reverend Alan Wilson, who's the Bishop of Buckingham, said the Church should be part of the debate about the economy.
I think that St Paul's has a fabulous opportunity to find itself absolutely at the centre of a concern that's going all over the world, and I really hope they go and use it, because I think that there are all sorts of different people who want to be part of the conversation.
The Prime Minister has announced that ships sailing under a British flag will be able to carry armed guards to protect them from pirates. It's thought the policy could apply to up to 200 ships in the merchant navy that regularly sail past the Horn of Africa. One of the earliest winter snowstorms for years hit northeastern parts of the United States. Air, road and rail travel has been disrupted and millions left without power. From Washington, here's Marcus George.
The big freeze descended on the northeast of the country late last night. By this morning, it had left up to 40 centimetres of snow in parts of Connecticut, New Jersey, Pennsylvania and Massachusetts. Around 3 million people have been left without electricity as fierce winds and heavy snows brought down trees and power lines. State authorities have declared emergencies and warned people to avoid travel. In Massachusetts, a 20-year-old was electrocuted by fallen cables. In Pennsylvania, an elderly man was killed when a tree fell on his home, and there are reports of a third death.
A deck plan of the Titanic's first-class area has sold at auction in Wiltshire for £30,000. The plan was originally given to Ida and Isidore Strauss, who both died after Mrs. Strauss refused a place on a lifeboat. It was sold by a private collector. The weather forecast, a dry, cloudy evening for most of England, with a little rain in Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. Temperatures will feel a little mild for the time of year. BBC News at 3 minutes past 6 on 8 to 7.
BBC Radio 2.
Look at the travel news now. Here's Bobby Pryor.
Tom, thank you. First of all, to the M18 south of Doncaster. Now, northbound, it's still closed between junctions 4, Westmore, and junctions 5, which is the Stainforth turn. This is following an earlier accident. They've got to carry out investigation work. There is a diversion route, but on the approach to that, it's taking about 30 minutes to get through. M6 southbound, queue still, junction 20 from the Lim interchange through 19 at Knutsford, down towards Holmes Chapel at junction 18. And then the M6 southbound, if you're heading into Birmingham, junctions 10 to 9, Walsall to Wednesbury, is still pretty heavy. The M1 southbound heading down towards London, junctions 14, Milton Keynes through to 12 at Flitwick, still very, very slow. The latest on the M25, first of all clockwise, junction 5, which is up from Kent and the M26, very heavy around that junction. It always is round towards Clackett Lane services. Further round clockwise, heavy traffic, junctions 10 to 11 from the A3 to Chertsey, and anti-clockwise queues are still between 13 and 12. Again, the A30 at Staines through to junction 12 for the M3. Other problems for you if you're heading out onto the M4 eastbound, junctions 5 to 4B. So from Langley to the M25, there was an accident about half an hour ago. This is following an earlier accident. There's been 2 on that stretch, so very heavy in towards London. M5 northbound, slow from Bridgewater South, junction 24 to Bridgewater North at 23. And then again, it's a struggle, junctions 18 to 15. So the M5 is a struggle between the M49 and the M4. And the M4 itself, eastbound, is heavy from 21 to 19. Finally, the A31 at Wimborne Minster, getting reports that westbound is closed between Uddens Drive and the Wimborne Road West, so towards the Canford Bottom roundabout, traffic's at a standstill. Thanks for your updates. Back now just after 7.
Online, on digital, and on 88 to 91 FM. On BBC Radio 2.
Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Tom. I'm Paul O'Grady. Welcome back to our almost Halloween special, yes. And here's the lovely Imelda May. Take it away, Imelda. Imelda May there with our Inside Out remix. Wilson, welcome back. Thank you very much for joining us. If you just turned on, I'm Paul O'Grady. It's a Sunday night and it's very, very dark. And we've got loads for you. We've got your thank yous. We've got an all-star triple. Plus, we've got the guaranteed happy ending. We've also got a special surprise. We've got two ladies of a certain age coming in. And they're going to roll around in a bath full of warm jelly deals, semi-naked. It's called wrestling. Hang on a minute. No, the coach is stuck in traffic, so you're going to miss them. That'd have been fabulous on a Halloween, Malcolm, as well. You know, one of them was 82. I think the other was 90. It was apparently a spectacular act. They're called the Pippin Sisters. Cora and CD Pippin. Sounded like something else, didn't it? But it wasn't. I've had an email here. Dear Paul, you look fantastic on the webcam. The witch's hat, the fang teeth. But who did your ageing makeup? And that's from Maureen. Is it now, Maureen? I've got a spell book under this counter. You want to be very, very careful. It's not ageing makeup, it's the bad lighting in this place. Premature baby, it'd look about 90 under this. Shocking. All right, should we have a bit of what's it called, Malcolm, what we have? A Northern Soul, that's it. I can't hear with this hat on. We're going to have a bit of Northern Soul, and this week's frightening offering comes from the decks of the Wigan Casino. Yes, it's the Andantes with Like a Nightmare. This week's Northern Soul offering there, we have the Andantes with Like a Nightmare. And remember, keep the faith, one and all. I've got a few texts here. Paul, please stop the screaming and howling. That's me talking. It's frightening our kittens, Smokey and Multi. They are only... This isn't me, you know, this is Malcolm. They are only 4 months old today and have never had a Halloween yet, and we're trying to break them in gently. Love the show. Long-time listeners, soon, Richard. I'll have a word with Malcolm soon, Richard. I mean, so we can't have 2 little 4-month-old moggies hanging off the curtains, can we? Not really. Dear Paul, please can you say hi to my husband, Steve? It's his birthday today, and he's suffering with man flu. Obviously, I will provide tea and sympathy when I have finished laughing. And that's some Linda Shuka. Isn't that rotten? Why is it? Well, women get ill. Oh, dying. Oh, yeah. But they get on with it, don't they, women? You know, they're stoic. They go into work and they do the chores and what have you. Fellas get a flu. No matter how severe, it's dismissed as man flu. It's not fair. You could be lying up there with pneumonia, Lyndon. You don't know. You know what I mean? Not on. I'll tell you something else which gets on my... I'm on the subject. Trick or treat. Where did that come from? When I was a kid, we used to do bobbing for apples. I suppose, again, it's quite dangerous. We used to do it in the Scouts, you know. There could have been a mishap there with a hefty Scoutmaster or an Arcala grabbing you by the back of your head and shoving your face in a bucket of ice-cold water to bite an apple and not letting you up until you had one. But this trick or treat, banging on your door every 5 minutes, intimidating people, you know, trick or treat. The best thing I've found to do is to wear a black polo neck and pull it up over your head so you looks like you're headless, and carry an axe or something and open the door and just stand there. Don't say a word. When they say trick and treat, just go from the depths of your woolen sweater. Things get rid of them, believe you me. Another text here. Hello, Paul. Happy Halloween from me, Debbie in Cheshire. I'm doing my yoga as I listen to your show. It's back bends today, Paul. I'm going to be hanging upside down over the back of a chair. Could you send us a photo of that, Debbie? That I'd love to see. And finally, dear Paul, could you please wish our mum Laura a very happy birthday? It's a special one today, but I don't think she would appreciate you telling your listener her age. And that's from Samantha, Cyrita and Samson. OK, Laura, happy secret 60th birthday. I don't even know if she is 60. I've just guessed. But it could be 50, couldn't it? Could be 40. The woman's probably crying now into a beer. Anyway, Laura, you have happy birthday. Now, here's a piece of music that might scare you. Yes. Have you got it yet? Yeah? I'm lying in bed vomiting pea soup as we speak. Yes. Well, it terrified me. I'll tell you later. It's Mike Oldfield with Tubular Bells, which, of course, was the theme music for the film The Exorcist. That was Mike Oldfield there with Tubular Bells, which was used in the film The Exorcist. I remember going to see that. And remember all the hype when it first came out? They had the St. John's Ambulance Brigade outside and people from the church all saying, don't go in and see this. Anyway, me and Avira, in we trusted to see it. I was so scared when I left the cinema. I went straight home and, I'm ashamed to say, I got in bed with my mother. Malcolm just told me I was 19. I'm sure I was young. I'm sure I was 17, 18, Malcolm. When was it released? 74? I was 12. did. I got in bed with me mum. Oh, she belted me over the head with a large print Jean Plaidy library book. Called me all sorts. Let me know. You can text me on, that's 88 to 91, and this is how you do it. You text 88291. Let me know what your favourite horror film is. I think mine's, not favourite, what scared you the most? Mine's got to be The Exorcist. Nightmare on Elm Street. The Hills Have Eyes, but the original one, not the remake. And there's another film, it's called The Changeling, stars George C. Scott, about a little boy in the attic who was drowned by his father. That's terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. And Paranormal Activity, Malcolm. Have you seen that? 1 and 2. Oh, I can't wait for 3. Why do we like being scared? I'll have to go and deal with him. I'm just going to go and have a word with the traffic warden who's put tickets on my broomstick and give Malcolm a dig on my way back. OK, now we're going to have our thank yous. Well, in case you just tuned into this show, this is the part where you're invited to acknowledge someone or somewhere in your life that's made a real difference. Now, last week, Sally thanked 2 mystery people who helpfully found our lost dog. John thanked his pal Rob for being a true and faithful friend, and Frankie thanked her daughter Ricky for helping to rehome so many of Northamptonshire's needy animals. So come on, who would you like to thank? There's a certificate of thanks if your message is read out on the show, and if yours is judged as the very best letter or email, there's the brand new pair of mugs and an exclusive all-new tea towel. I know, contain yourself. Who said the BBC was making drastic cuts? Right, first cab off the rank is Helen Cash from Farnham in Surrey. And Helen says, Paul, would you please thank my neighbour Luke Jeffries? Luke's the sort of neighbour we all need. He keeps an eye on the house if I go away to visit my son. He helps me with my garden, and he always gets me a paper on a Sunday. Good neighbours are often few and far between, so please thank him and all the good neighbours across the country. Thanks, Paul. Love to you and yours. You're so right, Helen. Should I sing the song from Neighbours? OK, I won't. And an official thank you is in the post to good neighbour Luke Jeffries. Now, this is a special thank you from Malcolm. Is this you, Malcolm? Oh, is it? This is our Malcolm here. It's very unlike you. Something. Now, Malcolm went to see George Michael last night at the Royal Albert Hall. Now, George was in fine voice and he gave a spectacular and stylish show. But Malcolm would really like to thank the man wearing a cheap, ooh, this is evil, ill-fitting suit jacket and jeans who sat in front of him. The man spent the whole evening talking to his wife, despite being asked not to. He single-handedly managed to ruin each of the 20-plus songs that George sang. So no certificate of thanks is going to this man. Is that what happened, Malcolm? Were you livid? Can you give him a dig in the back of the neck? Shut up. I'm fine. Oh, no, it's not a letter of the week. This one's from Margaret Greenall in Liverpool. And Margaret says, I would really like to thank Monica Baines, who is approaching her 90th birthday. Monica is a wonderful lady and she has always put others before herself. I know my family have a lot to thank her for, all the help and support she has given us over the years. It's really hard sometimes to show just how much someone means to you, so I hope a mention on the radio will go some way to showing Monica how special we all think she is. Much appreciated. And that's from Margaret Greenall in Liverpool. Margaret, thank you very much for writing, and I'll be delighted to thank the wonderful Monica Baines for you and your family. Happy 90th, Monica. And an official thank you is in the post. And finally, letter of the week. And this week it's from Tez Shawcross in Dudley. Tez says, please could you say a huge thank you to Zoe, my best friend and adopted sister. Now, it could be Zoe this or Zoe, because it hasn't got the 2 little dots over the E, so you don't know, do you? I first met Zoe 11 years ago. She really did change my life, and I can't imagine her not being around. She was recently my chief bridesmaid and made sure everything was perfect. There are so many things I want to thank her for. She's simply a star. She's just got a job which she loves, and I'm so proud of her, and I know she's got a great future ahead of her. So thanks very much. And that's from Tez Shawcross in Dudley. Tez, so she's your adopted sister, is she? Well, yeah, adopted sister of yours is getting our new pair of thank you mugs, which are shatterproof, I believe. And you get the tea towel, which is flame-proof as well, which is just as handy. Doesn't get much more exciting than this, really, does it? OK, and remember, the only way to get your hands on the all-new mugs and tea towels is to be our letter of the week. So let me know if there's someone or somewhere out there that you'd like to say thank you to, and here's how you can take part.
You can contact Paul's show by emailing paulogrady@bbc.co.uk, or you can write to Paul at BBC Radio 2 London W1A 1AA, or just visit his show page at bbc.co.uk/Radio 2 and click on Take Part in the Show.
A spell on you. Oh. 'Cause you're mine. You gotta stop the things you're doing. Oh, I ain't lying. I just can't stand it. Well, you always run around. I can't stand it. Well, you always put me down. I put a spell on you.
Cool. Kick the bones out of that one, eh? Follow that. That was Misha Paris, David Gilmour and Jules Holland's Rhythm and Blues Orchestra for the second time today with the iconic I Put a Spell on You. I think the Nina Simone version is cracking, but whoa, the arrangement on that is wonderful. And Misha Paris, there's a voice. X Factor contestants, take note. Radio, eh? What album's it from, Malcolm? It's from the album Small World. But you dare! And I fell into that, didn't I, at first? The scariest thing, if you... Never mind The Exorcist, is that small world ride. That's the scariest thing. Put me in that, I'll come out white-haired. Not that I already aren't. What have I got here now? Let me have a look. Dear Paul, I was reading in the local paper that a certain Lily Savage is to loan some of her gowns to a museum for all to see. That is true. How gracious of her. I heard in the pub that Buckingham Palace wanted to put on a display of her outfits adjacent to the Duchess of Cambridge's wedding dress, but Liverpool beat them to it. I'm very much looking forward to paying a visit to have a look. Might we see you there? And that's from Agnes in Birkenhead. Well, Agnes, that's true. Can you believe this? Lily Savage's costumes is called Savage Style, costumes from Lily's wardrobe. Honestly, it's not a wind-up. And that opens on Friday, November the 4th at the Walker Art Gallery and Museum of Liverpool until February the 19th. How's that, eh? All old Lily's old stuff. Some nice gear in there, you know. No, shaking and roaring, laughing at me, Malcolm. And yes, I will be there. I'm going up on Friday. There you go. In fact, that's the November the 4th, isn't it? Night before Barney night. Keep your dogs in. Dear Paul and Malcolm, OMG. What's OMG? That's anyway, it's Essex, innit? They all go, oh my God. Oh my G, big time. Is that another? Is it? Last week I heard you play Yowley singing Rose, Rose, I Love You. I have that very piece of music on a 78 record, something my parents had at home in the 1950s. The exact same version that you played, crackles and all. I haven't heard this for, 35 years. You can't imagine how many wonderful memories that brought back hearing it again. We used to do our very own version of Jukebox Jury at home and Rose, Rose, I Love You. Usually one. See, I know how to pick on Malcolm. By the way, does she sing Make Way for My Knees at the end? I don't know. I don't think she does say Make Way for My Knees. And what does Count Your Kaibais mean? I think you should play this again from time to time so that your other listener and I can try and work out the lyrics. Thanks for a great programme. And that's Philip in Sheffield. Philip, thank you, because I went to Shanghai and I came back with that. I said to Malcolm, play this, Malcolm, please play this. Eventually, after I got him on the floor and put him in an arm lock, he agreed to play it. So I'm delighted. See? Rose, Rose, we'll have that again. Yes, Miss Lee will be returning. Now, we've got some of your texts here. I asked you what your favourite horror film was. So Sue Fagan said The Omen is the best. Mine is The Exorcist. I slept with my Bible for weeks after watching it, and that's Lorraine in Newcastle. Dale Newbrook from Manchester says definitely The Fog. Yeah, that's a bit scary. With regards to films, I am now ashamed to say that when I was little, I was terrified of E.T. I know, how sad. Loving your show. That's Matthew in Manchester. Friday the 13th scared me witless when I was younger, says Nigel in Stoke. And I agree here, the Spanish film The Orphanage is the creepiest, scariest film ever. And that's Sarah from Pimlico. I know another one as well, which I forgot. It's not necessarily a horror film. It's 10 Rillington Place with Richard Attenborough. It's got to be one of the scariest films. He's outstanding. Forget Hannibal Lecter. I mean, really, his Christie is the most chilling portrayal of a serial killer I've ever seen. Not that I'm familiar with that kind of genre, you must understand. Now, we've had what's this here? Is there really a webcam or is it a wind-up? Because I can't find it anywhere on the BBC. I used to love scary films and saw The Exorcist when it came out, and I was only 16. However, it was when I was watching the Amityville Horror. Oh, that did nothing for me, that. What's it called? Amityville, is it? Well, that film about a house. Never mind, Malcolm, if you want grammar lessons, I'll go to Birkenhead Technical College, which has been pulled down to a level. Anyway, the Amityville Horror in about 1979, and I decided I really couldn't stand being frightened like that anymore, so that was the last one I saw, and that's from Jane. I've just thought of another one, The Orphan. That's a very creepy film. Have you seen that, Paul? Isn't that's the twist at the end? I'm not going to ruin it for you. I could go on all night. I love horror films. Anyway, yeah, there is, talking of horror films, there is a webcam. And if you really want to have a look at me suffering, you go to bbc.co.uk/Radio 2, and then you move the page down the right-hand side to the blue box, and then you click on live webcam. Did you get that, Jane? Good. OK. Nice. Why do we have to have webcams on the wireless? I had to have a wash when I came in today, knowing I might be filmed. Well, it's time now for the All-Star Triple. The email address is paulo'Grady@bbc.co.uk if you'd like to suggest one. There's nothing whatsoever scary about the star of today's 6 o'clock triple. It's the very much requested and very much loved all-star triple featuring Miss Peggy Lee. Take it away, Peg.
I can wash out 44 pairs of socks and have them hanging out on the line. I can start and iron 2 dozen shirts before you can count from 1 to 9. I can scoop up a great big dipper full of lard from the drippings can. Throw up the skillet, go out and do my shopping, be back before it melts in the pan. 'Cause I'm a woman, W-O-M-A-N. I'll say it again. I can rub and scrub till this old house is shining like a dime. Feed the baby, grease the car and powder my face at the same time. Get all dressed up, go out and swing till 4 a.m. and then lay down at 5, jump up at 6 and start all over again. 'Cause I'm a woman, a W-O-M-A-N. I'll say it again. If you come to me sickly, you know I'm gonna make you well. If you come to me all hexed up, you know I'm gonna break the spell. If you come to me hungry, you know I'm gonna fill you full of grits. If it's loving you like an I'll kiss you and give you the shivering bits. 'Cause I'm a woman, W-O-M-A-N. I'll say it again. I got a $20 gold piece, says there ain't nothing I can't do. I can make a dress out of a feed bag and I can make a man out of you. 'Cause I'm a woman, a W-O-M-A-N. I'll say it again. 'Cause I'm a woman, W-O-M-A-N. And that's all. Turn around and ditch me. They said that you were captain of the devil's crew. Well, they were wrong, 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 wrong about you. They said that you'd keep flirting and laugh when I was hurting, and that you specialize in breaking hearts in two. Well, they were wrong, 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 wrong about you. The more we are together, the more I can see the others in town that you turned down were jealous of me. They had a right to be. And now the lovesick mourners are standing on the corners, pouting while I shout to everyone in view that they were wrong, 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 wrong about you. The more we are together, the more I can see the others in town that you turned down were jealous of me. They had a right to be. And now the lovesick mourners are standing on the corners, pouting while I shout to everyone in view that they were wrong, 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 and they sing a different song, song all day long. 'Cause they were wrong, 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 wrong about you. cozy. I'm so awfully glad you came. Come a little closer, just a little closer. Let's pretend we're playing a game. Don't you wanna, oh, no, please don't go. Please don't leave me now. It's just 15 to 10. Kiss me again. Oh, hon, please don't run. Please don't run away. Why not turn out the light and hold me tight? It's nice to have you here with me, 'cause this is where I wanna be. A night with you was meant to last. Besides, I think the clock is fast. And oh, no, please don't go. Please don't leave me now. It's just 10 after 10. Kiss me again. Don't you wanna, oh, no, please don't go, please don't leave me now. Oh, hon, please don't run away. It's nice to have you here with me, 'cause this is where I wanna be. A night with you was meant to last. Besides, I think the clock is fast. And oh, no, please don't go. Please don't leave me now. It's just 10 after 10. Kiss me again. Kiss me again. Oh no!
And that was the 6 o'clock triple featuring the legendary Miss Peggy Lee. We had I'm a Woman, Wrong, 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 and Oh No, Please Don't Go. Now look, if you've got an all-star triple, then what you do is you visit the show page at bbc.co.uk/Radio 2 and click on Take Part in the Show. And you can suggest all sorts there. And that was going out especially for Vera, who joined a gym this week. Vera did. And went in there in the new tracksuit. Oh yeah, and the new pumps. All smart with the headband on, you know. And got on the treadmill after some bloke had just got off it. Push start, not realising you have to hold on to the handles either side. And of course, when the button was push start, this thing kicked off at about 80 miles an hour. Vera was flung like a lemming right across the gym and smack bang into the wall. Now, man, Vera, I believe traction's very nice. We'll be on until Boxing Day, so get well soon, babe. I also want to mention one of my, well, she's my favourite burlesque artiste of all time. That's the legendary Modesty Blaze. Now, Modesty's teaming up with the Noisettes for 2 shows only in December, and they're in Edinburgh and London, and the show is called Looking for Trouble, which I think I'm going to have on my headstone. What have we got now? Oh, it's time to open the doors and to step into my TARDIS. See, nobody's been in since I changed the locks. They can't dust it. Now, can you guess which year we're heading back to? No prizes, just the satisfaction of knowing that you were right. Now, in this mystery year, a regular hovercraft service began across the English Channel. Former actor Ronald Reagan was elected Governor of California, and celebrity birthdays this year included Rick Astley, Lisa Stansfield and British athlete Jonathan Edwards. Any clues? Well, I'll tell you, the answer is 1966, and from that year, here's the suitably Halloweeny Boris the Spider, The Who.
dropped onto the floor, heading for the bedroom door. Maybe he's as scared as me. Where's he gone now? I can't see. Notice the spider. Notice the spider. Creepy, crawly, creepy, crawly, creepy, crawly, creepy, crawly. There he is wrapped in a ball. Doesn't seem to move at all. Perhaps he's dead, I'll just make sure. Pick this book up off the floor. Notice the spider. Notice the spider. Creepy, crawly, creepy, crawly, creepy, crawly, creepy, crawly, creepy, crawly. He's come to a sticky end. Don't think he will ever mend. Never more will he crawl round. He's embedded in the ground. Notice the spider. Notice the spider.
Written by The Who's John Entwistle and released in 1966, which is this week's mystery year. We had Boris the Spider there, The Who. Malcolm doesn't like spiders. I was just saying you should never kill a spider, it's unlucky. And also, it's an old wives' tale. I've never tried it out and I wouldn't recommend it. Go see a doctor. But if you cut yourself, wrap your finger or whatever part of your body you've cut in a nice clean cobweb if you can find one, because cobwebs contain an anticoagulant and it stops the bleeding. That's the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. In 1985, I've got one word for Alf. That's Alison Moyet, you and me, and that's smashing. She really is. And she's busy recording a new album at the moment. So I've heard on the grapevine. Yes. Please keep your messages coming. Let me have a look here. Dear Paul, did, as you said, read the webcam? Oh, the studio is there, but the seat is empty. Where are you, man? Lovely show as always, Paul. Wouldn't miss hearing you, and that's from Iris. Iris, while the Triple was on, I shot downstairs to check on me broomstick, which is parked against a parking meter. However, it has been clamped. And while I was arguing with the clamper, threatening to put a spell on him, a Mini went past with two women in it, and one woman shouted, "Whatever happens to Baby Jane?" I thought she was referring to me, maybe I had more than a passing resemblance to Jane Hudson, but no, she was referring to when I asked about what's your favourite horror film. And it's true, it's terrifying, that film. It's really, I know it's a camp classic, as they all say, but it's extremely scary. Eee. Dear Paul, hope you're well. I would be really grateful if you could wish my lovely wife, Yvonne Lamb, a happy anniversary. We've been married for 35 years. She loves listening to you online as we now live in Slovakia, and she is away from all her family, and I know a mention would go down well, and that's from Jimmy Lamb. Happy birthday, Yvonne Lamb, in Slovakia. What's that going to do with birthdays? Hey, well, I'm going to get hold of that record, I tell you, Malcolm. Dear Paul, Shanghai name dropper, I've been to Lewis. Oh, have you now? That's just outside Brighton, isn't it, Lewis? Love the show, making me smile as I prepare smoked haddock, spinach, mash and a poached egg for dinner for my darling partner Beryl, who is on her way back from work. And that's from Nick Grantham Hill in delightful Horsham, with glass of red in hand. He. What the he's for? I've got a glass of BBC tea in hand. He. Which is stronger than any red wine, let me tell you. Oh, smoked haddock, I love it, yellowfish. These are texts. I'm sat in a basement in New Oxford Street. Sorry, I'm just scratching my head if you heard that. In New Oxford Street, working. I'm making a silver skull umbrella, so it's just me, the skull, and you for company. How apt for almost Halloween. Love your show, and that's from Ian. Thanks for that, Ian. I hope it's not too scary in that basement in New Oxford Street, all alone, making a skull umbrella. Dear Paul, really enjoying your Halloween show. We've just moved house, so we're surrounded by boxes, and your show is helping us on our way to keep unpacking. My 11-year-old son, George, particularly enjoys your show every week. You have us in fits of laughter for all the right reasons. And that's from Jackie in Evesham. Thanks for that, Jackie. Go on, George, you dance round the packing cases, drive 'em mad. Here's a good lad. And finally, hello, Paul, please say hello to my boyfriend Carl as we are sitting in traffic on the M1 on our way home from a Halloween weekend in York, and that's from Claire. Well, Bobby will be giving you a bit more traffic news later on, so you might be shifting. I can see them now as we're approaching 7 o'clock. Tom's out there gargling. Bobby's doing her vocal exercises, a warm-up. What am I doing? Oh, now I'm about to tell you about a Halloween-inspired cocktail. Now, we've not had a cocktail for a few weeks, ever since Malcolm went on the wagon and I joined the Temperance League. However, things have changed with it being Halloween. So today we're having a vampire kiss. And this is how you make it. Well, you take 2 parts of passion fruit-flavoured rum. Passion fruit-flavoured rum, can you get that? If not, just get some rum and stick a bit of passion fruit juice in it. 1 part tonic water and add a splash of cranberry juice. Now you put all of the ingredients into a cauldron, add ice and shake well. Strain into a cocktail glass and garnish with a black cherry and a little toy bat. I know it's going to happen now, Malcolm. There's going to be a rush on for little toy bats. It'll be like when Delia mentioned cranberries and certain types of omelette pan. Do you remember? But should you attempt this drink for a vampire's kiss, please remember to drink responsibly. And to go with it, here's LaVey Smith and her Red Hot Skillet Liquors, which is very hard to say on live radio. Anyway, here we have Between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea. Between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea, that was LaVey Smith and her Red Hot Skillet Liquors. I have to be very careful saying that. And you can see the recipe for this week's Vampire Kiss cocktail on the show page. And if you don't fancy drinking it, it's really handy for unblocking drains or a loo. Right, I've got a few messages and texts here. Dear Paul, can you say happy second birthday to Malcolm, the grey tomcat from Gladstonebury? Meow. And that's from David Walker. OK, then. Happy second birthday, Malcolm, the grey tomcat from Gladstonebury. Dear Paul, thank you for playing the 6 Feet Under music. It gave me happy memories as it was the last TV we enjoyed as a family before the children went off to uni. Love your show. And that's from Sarah in Norfolk. Hi Paul, enjoying the show with a nice glass of wine. We had a huge Halloween party at the pub last night, so enjoying a nice quiet evening with the wireless. And there's from Justin in Hemel Hempstead. Justin, all starts again tomorrow, because don't forget, it's not Halloween tonight, it's Halloween tomorrow. It's the 31st then tomorrow, Malcolm, and then we start the winter, and then it's the long, slow crawl, isn't it? And finally, dear Paul, we're heading back to Scotland just now. We were visiting our grandsons in Sheffield, loving the show. Can you play us something to cheer us both up? Thanks. And that's from Brenda and Colin Shearer. And finally, hi Paul, we are just driving home after a lovely few days in Bruges in Belgium. Halloween is our wedding anniversary and we will be celebrating 24 years of wedded bliss. I just want to say thank you to Ian and hope he's ready for tomorrow. Leslie, you're the devil in disguise. Well, that's it, folks. Please keep in touch, because as I always say, we really are nothing without you in your messages. And here's Jodie with the contact details.
You can contact Paul's show by emailing paulogrady@bbc.co.uk, or you can write to Paul at BBC Radio 2 London W1A 1AA, or just visit his show page at bbc.co.uk/radio2.